Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. Continuing pumping out these Saturday college football picks. Got a nice Big 12 game for you. Oklahoma State versus Texas Tech. Let's go.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
All right, Red Raiders on the road at Oklahoma State here. The line's Cowboys minus 9.5. Early public is even, but look at all that sharp money on Texas Tech. 91% of the money on the Red Raiders as of Monday morning. But look what happens all week. The books have been taking Oklahoma State money all week. The money's almost even now. Line doesn't really do much. It bounces back and forth between 9.5 and 9 a few times. As I'm recording this, it's currently at Oklahoma State minus 9.5, but this is a line we need to keep an eye on. So let's cap this game. If you subscribe to this channel, you already know the first step. We're running the numbers through the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Oklahoma State minus 5.07. That's a 4.5 point lean on the Red Raiders here. So let's break down this matchup, and honestly, it's kind of hard not to be impressed with what we've seen from Spencer Sanders so far this season. Spencer Sanders averages over 10 interceptions a season over the course of his career. This is his fourth year as a starter. Averages over 10 interceptions a season. This year, just 2 interceptions through 4 games, and he's looked really sharp. And he just went into Baylor against that Baylor defense, and he played pretty well. They got their revenge from the loss in the Big 12 championship last year. Spencer Sanders, 20 of 29, 181 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He also added 75 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown. Now, Texas Tech's defense is not as good as Baylor's. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, but I will tell you it's definitely undervalued. And I know you right now, you might be thinking, Sauce, look at their games. They let up 37, 34, 27, and 30 in their last 4 games. But hold on, let's be fair to Texas Tech here. In their last 4 games that we're talking about, they've played 4 ranked opponents. Number 25, Houston. Number 16, North Carolina State. Number 22, Texas. Number 25, Kansas State. Back to back to back to back. Also, keep in mind that nobody runs a faster paced football game than the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They're averaging 92.8 plays per game, which is the highest in the country by a decent margin. No one else in the FBS has over 90. So they've played 4 ranked opponents all in a row, all in extremely fast-paced football games. So when you look at it like that, letting up 27 points isn't that bad. Texas Tech's defense is actually ranked number 39 in DFEI. So if you schedule adjusted and situation adjusted analytics here, Texas Tech's defense isn't bad. That's a myth. In fact, they're a pretty average Power 5 defense. And I know some people are be like, yo, Sauce, Oklahoma State just went into Baylor and lit them up for 36 points. They're gonna annihilate Texas Tech's defense. But really, did they light up Baylor? Oklahoma State was actually outgained by Baylor in this game. Oklahoma State only had 379 yards of offense. They averaged just 3.6 yards per carry as a team. They played well. I'm not trying to take away credit for the victory, but let's not act like the Polk defense went into Baylor and just lit them up, because that's not what happened. Baylor's defense played fine in that game. In fact, I thought they played a pretty good game. Baylor threw back-to-back interceptions, 2 interceptions on back-to-back drives in the 4th quarter. That's how Oklahoma State won. So I truly believe that Texas Tech can slow down Spencer Sanders in this Oklahoma State offense. I think they can hold him to 35 points or less. And you're like, whoa, that's not holding him. But remember what I just said about the pace. 35 points in a Texas Tech game is much different than 35 points in a Wisconsin game. Which means our question would be, if we think Oklahoma State's gonna be held to 35 points or less, do we think Texas Tech's offense can score 27 and cover this number? And if we look at these numbers here, I think our answer has to be yes. Oklahoma State's defense is good. It's a top 25 defense, so props to Mike Gundy. They lose Jim Knowles, their DC. They also lose 7 starters. They only brought back 4 defensive starters. Still brought back a top 25 defense. But there's a huge situation with this Oklahoma State defense that not enough people are talking about. Tell me how they're 129th in the country, allowing 330 passing yards a game. How do you let up 330 passing yards a game when your schedule is Central Michigan, Arizona State, Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Baylor? 330 yards a game? Baylor better have thrown 900 of those. Want to know where Donovan Smith and this Texas Tech passing offense ranks in the country? 9th. Up until this point, the best passing offense that Oklahoma State has seen this year was Baylor, and they're 69th. Texas Tech is 9th. This Texas Tech offense will be the most explosive offense Oklahoma State has seen by far, by miles. I believe in this Texas Tech offense. In fact, I think the Red Raiders are undervalued right now. I also think this is a bit of a sandwich game for Oklahoma State. They just come off the huge emotional revenge win at Baylor. Then they get the home game where they're 9-point favorites against Texas Tech. Then next week they go on the road against Sonny Dykes and a red-hot TCU team. So a bit of a sandwich letdown spot here, which is why I'm on the Red Raiders here, as you probably already guessed. them. Give me Texas Tech plus 9.5. Also, I have a lean to the over, but it's strictly off betting trends. Texas Tech is 4-1 to the over on the season. Oklahoma State is 3-1 to the over. So both those things point to the over. So I'll play the over at 68.5, but just for a few dollars. If anything changes with this bet, I will let you know on Twitter, so give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the final Saturday ticket that I do, which is the bet of the day, top 7 bets, underdogs of the day, parlays of the day, that kind of stuff, make sure you head over to KyleKirms.com or download the app. College football Saturday, we need a big day. We had a rough 5 or 6 days here. Let's get back in the green. Let's have a nice Saturday. I'll talk to you on Twitter.